Jenna.
Hi, Shelby.
Welcome, guys. This is going to be such a fun episode because we are celebrating.
We are. We're celebrating 1 year of Miss Willa's Book Club podcast.
God.
Thank you to all of our listeners and followers. We appreciate your support, and we hope you've enjoyed this year as much as we have.
Yes, we have seriously enjoyed it. And one of the things that we're going to do is we had on our socials a bunch of people ask us some questions. And so we are just going to get into some questions to start.
Yeah, we're just going to let you guys know a little bit more about the people behind the podcast. We did one of these episodes pretty early on.
It was like a month in.
Yeah, we've gained a lot more followers since then. And especially, I think sometimes you like see our faces or hear our voices and don't know even who is who. So this will be a time for you to like, get to know us a little bit more beyond just the books.
More about us. I love
So cheers for that.
Cheers. Oh, love it. Going back to our roots with the wine.
I know. That was really how it started. The first few episodes, I think we had a couple themed drinks, but we also just kept picking wine bottles that had labels that sort of were themed on
I forgot
the
about
books.
that.
Like I remember getting a bottle of champagne for Anne Warner's birthday.
Oh, celebrating Aaron Moore's birthday.
Yeah, and like silly things like that.
Oh my God. So I'm sure throughout this podcast, we'll definitely talk about how this last year has been. We'll talk about the podcast. Oh my gosh, I love it. And I just said we had some people ask us some questions on the socials. But if you didn't know, you can find us on Instagram and TikTok at Miss Willa's Book Club Pod. And if you do want to email us for any collaboration, we're misswillasbookclub@gmail.com. And we're pretty responsive, so
yeah. Feel free to reach out.
Awesome. Well, we had a ton of people ask us questions, and I think the one to start it all off was, how did you guys meet? And I think this is so fun.
Yes, I think people are always surprised when they hear how long ago we met. So Shelby is like almost my age, but a grade younger.
Yes.
And so it was when you were, I think, 8th grade and I was 9th grade. And we both did high school gymnastics.
Yes.
And we met on that team and were instant best friends.
Yes, we were. Yes, we were.
And we were best friends all through high school. And not that we had a falling out or anything,
not
but
at all.
I went to college in North Carolina, and Shelby went to college in Minnesota. And so we drifted for a few years.
Like literally didn't even talk.
Yeah. And I moved back to Minnesota, saw you at Gastoff's.
Which, how crazy.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. There's
For the
a
Minnesota
giant
folks.
Oktoberfest that used to be at Gastoff's in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw you from across the room.
Yes.
And I was like, is that my Jenna? I like ditched my group to go find you and say hello.
Yep. And so I saw you that one time.
Yes.
And then you moved.
Yeah. We like tried to get it together a couple of times. It just didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then I moved to Colorado for pharmacy school. Mm-hmm. Just a couple weeks later, you're like, hey, do you want to get dinner? And I'm like, hey, do you want to just stay with me?
Yeah. So you moved out for pharmacy school, and literally weeks later, I got or had an interview in Boulder, Colorado. And so I was flying out for the interview anyways. And I had like one last night on the way out. And I was like, oh, well, I'm in town. Like, we should say hi. And so, yeah, you invited me to just stay with you instead of staying in a hotel. And we just stayed up until like 4 a.m. talking.
Know. I was like, you have to catch me up on the last 5 years of your life. It was
sure
like nothing ever happened.
I know. And then sure enough, I got the job, moved out a month later, and here we are now, 6 years after that.
Oh, holy shit. It's been 6 years. Holy
5.5, 6, yeah, something like that.
I mean, it'll be 6 for me in August. That's in 2 months.
Mm.
Holy crap. That's in less than 2 months.
Yeah.
Whoa. But yeah, so that's how we met.
Yeah.
I think we have the cutest friendship story.
Yep.
Oh, it's so precious.
Funny. It's funny because my best friend is like a second chance romance style, and so is my husband.
That's okay. Do you like that trope?
Apparently I do. Apparently I'm a fan of second chance romance.
Oh my God, I love it.
That's super funny. I hadn't really ever thought of it that way before.
So funny. Oh my God. Well, then another question we have is, how did you guys get started on the podcast? And I feel like this actually goes back a little bit further than that, because I always knew that Jenna loved to read. And she gave me ACOTAR, and she goes, hi, you have to read this.
Yeah. This is probably like 2019, 2020.
Yeah, I think so. Because I think it was before COVID. like right before COVID.
Maybe. That sounds right.
And then loved it. Didn't have a whole lot of time to read. And I was much slower of a reader. And so I'm sure you were just sitting on the edge of your seat waiting for me to finish these books.
Hey, but I hit it. You did not know. I did not see it coming.
And I wasn't even on Book Talk or anything. And so I had no idea. And then we both just got into reading so much. And gosh, it was a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago. I said, hey, let's start a podcast. And you were like, what?
Yeah, Shelby's listened to a lot of podcasts. I have not. So she came to me a while back and was like, we should do this. I want to do a podcast. And I was like, yeah, okay.
I don't know much about that.
We like kind of waited a few months. I was like finishing up grad school, finishing up my master's program.
I was finishing up pharmacy school.
Yep. And she comes back, she's like, so about that podcast.
I was like, guess what? I have all of the information. All you have to do is read the books and come join me.
She's like, I got the equipment. I know what software we're supposed to use. I got all the things. I know what we're doing. I'm like, all right.
To be fair, I had very slow rotations. And so I had a lot of time on my hands. And I was like, this would be so fun doing my favorite thing with my best friend.
Yeah. We were already talking about books together anyway.
Exactly.
So. I know it. And it's funny though, because I don't think that she had me fully bought in until after we recorded our first episode and we went back and listened to it. I'm like, hey, we're funny. I know. Like, I actually kind of like this.
Because I even said that too. I was like, I'll get everything set up. I said, if we hate it, we don't have to do it.
Yeah.
And it was fun. And it's the first couple of episodes, I think, were super fun. We were learning.
They were rough.
But then we did Ledge.
Ledge was funny. God. Yeah. So that's how the podcast started.
Yeah, that's how we started.
You talked me into it, and here we are.
I did. Here we are.
A year later.
And the next one, which kind of goes hand in hand, is the story behind the podcast name.
Yes. Had you even read? You had read From Blood and Ash at this point, right?
Yes, I had read the first one.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'd read the first and the second one.
Yeah. So I had, like, about the same time when I had first started reading ACOTAR, I had also read all of what had been released for the From Blood and Ash series by Jennifer Armentrout. And if you're familiar with that series, I think it's starting in the second book. No, it's in the first book too, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's in the first book too. It's like the first couple of pages in the first book.
Oh,
too.
Perfect. So,
but you don't know much about it until later.
Yeah. So our main character in From Blood and Ash, Poppy, has a diary called Miss Willa's Diary that she finds that has a bunch of very sexually explicit scenes in them that she likes to read and then continues to kind of get made fun of or like joked about with of that specific diary. And so as we were trying to come up with a name, I was just laughing because you had just been reading it recently and I was like, why don't we just be Miss Willa's Book Club?
And I died.
Because we've been reading a lot of spicy fantasy romance at that time especially, and so it felt fitting.
It definitely did. And honestly, I died. We spent months being like, what the hell do we want to call ourselves? We had a couple that were like top choices.
Do you remember any of the others?
No, I probably have it in the note because we had that long ass note.
Yes.
Oh gosh. And so we had a bunch of names. Nope. And then do you remember the sketches of our logos?
We went through so bad. We went through a few logos.
It was pretty bad. And then we just stuck with one. We're like, you know what? We'll change it eventually.
And now we haven't.
I know. I actually love it. I love it.
I know. It's so funny. Now I can't even really think of changing it because I'm just so used to it.
I know. And I feel like it just suits us both so much. Mine is, I don't have the same color hair anymore.
That's true.
Except this week.
That's true.
Oh my God. That's so funny. I love it. But I think it fits really well. And I think eventually it would be fun to do like a generalized From Blood and Ash episode. Oh, I love it so much. So somebody asked what your favorite wine is.
My favorite wine?
Yeah.
Oh, generically, I'm a Pinot Noir girl. Specifically, we love Meiomi, but not the new one. So there.
You don't like the bright one?
Well, no, that one was okay. But no, I think most of the older ones, I guess it was probably 2019, must be gone or like out of rotation.
No.
So now if you get them in the stores, it's the 2020.
Oh, and it's good?
ever so slightly different looking label.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have the black on the top, and it's not as good.
Oh, good to know. I'm noting it right now.
I know. So if you see any with the black top, and I'm pretty sure it's 2019.
Okay.
Stock up, man. I'm like
Black top. Okay.
James said that there was more at Sam's Club. I'm literally about to go buy like a case.
Right? Oh my gosh.
What about you?
Honestly, same. So I love to try all different kinds of wines, right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys put me onto Meiomi, and I don't think I ever want anything else.
It's so good.
It's so good, and it's so good all the time. It's like that perfect, like light versus heavy. I love it.
It's like fruity, but not super heavy.
Yeah. And then I recently found the bright one, which is lower alcohol. And I felt like that one was really good too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Let's see. The next question is, we got like 4 people ask us this. What do you guys do for a living?
Oh man, yeah. I guess when you only see us in this setting, it's probably hard to know. Do you want to start us off?
Yeah. We're STEM girlies.
Yeah.
And I am a pharmacist by trade, but I don't work as a pharmacist. I work in clinical research in oncology trials. And that sounds like a lot, but I love it. I just started the job a few weeks ago, and I'm obsessed. It's very different going from not liking your job to having a job that you actually love the work that you do, and being able to see my work trickle down is just like incredible. It's incredible. I love it.
Such a good switch. I'm so happy to have had that change for you.
It was rough. It
was a long time coming.
It was a long time coming. But yeah. What do you do, Jenna?
I like from school was biomedical engineer, and I got a master's in engineering management, and I have worked in supplier quality engineering for quite a while now.
Yes.
So I've worked for like med device and pharma companies pretty much, my entire career. I think so almost a decade now.
I love it.
I've worked in med device. Isn't that crazy?
That's pretty crazy.
I love supplier quality, and I love quality in general. It fits well for me, and I'm a big fan.
Also, in the last year, you had that job switch, and I feel like you also moved into a really good position.
Yeah, I mean, I've bounced around like within engineering and like within quality for sure. And about a year ago, I moved actually back to a previous employer and work in a more like data centric role, and it's been really like actually fun for some pieces of it, which is cool.
That.
Yes,
makes such a difference to like your job.
And the people I work with.
Exactly.
I work with.
I love that. I love that. Well, let's see. The next one we have, because we had a lot of people ask very similar questions. Somebody says, how did you get into reading?
Wow. I'm trying to think. I think my mom was always a reader too. And so when I was a kid, I was a big reader. I read all the Harry Potters, and I read all the dystopian books when they came out. And I read Aragon. I read all that stuff. I was big into sci-fi or not sci-fi, I guess probably just fantasy and like YA when I was younger. And then when I was in high school, I thought I was like old enough that I was supposed to start reading adult books. And so I started reading like John Grisham, and which is like political thrillers and stuff.
Okay.
And like some other more adult books. And I don't know that I love them all as much. Yeah. And then
it's so fun.
Yeah. And then as I went into college, I was an engineer, so I didn't have a lot of free time, so I didn't really read for fun until after I graduated. And then my sister got me a book of the month subscription as a present, and I started getting into reading like psychological thrillers and like murder mystery type books.
Well, thank you, Olivia.
Yeah. And it just slowly bridged from there. So I had really only been reading thrillers, had maybe read like 20 thrillers. And my husband had convinced me to get TikTok, which is hilarious.
Shut up. Yeah. That's hilarious.
Yeah. And of course, I ended up on Book Talk and saw some things about ACOTAR in like 2018, 2019.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It must have been like 2019. Yeah. And read that. And now you can see behind you. This is my library.
So that brings us into another question.
Yeah.
But first,
how do you get into reading?
I got into reading. I had a friend loan me Twilight when I was in 8th grade. And then I read all of those, absolutely loved them. I just read vampire books throughout high school. That's pretty much it. I had a whole library of them at home, and now my family's moving, and I think they threw out my books. Not that I'll ever read them again. They were pretty young. But then, again, college pharmacy school, I didn't have any time to read. So I slowly got through ACOTAR, slowly got through From Blood and Ash. And here we are. I went from reading 5 books a year to 70.
Yep. So proud to have brought you over to the dark side.
Thank you.
I like to think this is solely because of me.
I owe all of this to Jenna.
I brought you into my obsession so much that we made a podcast.
I know.
Because I had already been like kind of obsessed with fantasy romance for like, I mean, and sci-fi and other books too, but for like probably at least 2 years before I got you to read ACOTAR.
I know. And the funniest thing is, while I started reading this, obviously I was reading like little other like smutty stuff too. And we would sit on your old day bed you had up here for hours
reading next to each
just
other.
like have wine and read and chit chat, and I love it.
Just that.
Cheers to that. I love it. But on the other note, so somebody asked, tell me the deal about your bookshelves, because they're in every single podcast. And so people are so curious.
Yeah, I mean, I got very lucky. You know me, I love a deal.
Oh, yeah?
I had, before I had these, I had 3, they were like antique hand-me-downs from, they were my great-grandmothers, my great-great-grandmothers, that were like half the size, and there was only 3 of them.
Yep.
And I was running out of space, and I looked on Facebook Marketplace, and I found all 4 together, total $50,
Shut up.
$10 of spray paint, and here we are.
Oh my God.
So they look a lot nicer in the background of photos than they do in person, I think. but
No, I disagree.
fine. They look fine. But the goal,
this is my dream when I grow up.
yeah. But the goal eventually, the room that we record in here has vaulted ceilings, like 2-story ceilings. And so the goal is to put in built-in bookshelf, sliding ladder. So guys, one day you're going to see a ladder in the back of this too.
Oh, I love it. It's literally the dream.
Yeah.
It's like those like old school it's like those like old school photos that we see.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love it so much. That's the dream too. I don't have any space for that.
I know. I feel like you've got little piles of books around.
I do. And I
We got to do a tour of your office too.
Yes. Yeah, we could definitely do that. Record in there at some point. Oh, that's so fun. That's so fun. Let's see. Okay, we had some other really fun questions. So all of those questions, multiple people had asked.
Nice.
And I'm like, wow, y'all all want to know the same thing. So then, if you're stuck on a deserted island, what is the one book you would bring?
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Just one.
Just one.
Mm-hmm.
Words of Radiance.
Oh,
Second book in the Stormlight Archives. 1, because it was a good book. 2, because it's like over 1,000 pages.
Right.
So at least I could like read it a few more times. And because there's like so much that happens, and like I feel like it's one of those books that if you reread it a bunch of times, you'd catch more every time you read it.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. What about you?
Oh gosh. My initial thought is Fourth Wing, which I don't.
That was the gut reaction.
That
I love
was my
though.
gut reaction.
I love getting a gut reaction.
Which now I'm like, wait, no. But I'm like, it was my gut reaction. I gotta go with it.
Yeah.
Gotta go with it.
I mean, it is a very fun read.
It was a very fun read. I love it. Diverting a little bit into some more get to know us questions, and then we'll get back into some more book talk. Just random questions. What's the best compliment you've ever received?
Oh. I have had people tell me that I am a thoughtful friend, and I think that that is the best compliment I can receive.
And I think
that makes
that's 100% true.
Thank you. That makes me feel very loved. I care very much for the people I'm close to.
Jenna does. If that's the one thing to learn about Jenna, is she really is. She's the best friend. I'm like really biased, but honestly, like I think every one of her friends would say that you are their best friend.
I care deeply
You
for
really
the people around me.
I love that. That's so precious.
What about you? What's the best compliment you've received?
The best compliment I've received is probably that I'm kind. Yeah.
I agree. You are kind.
Yeah. Let's see. What did you want to be when you were a kid, and why?
I mean, I feel like everybody goes through phases, but I really thought into high school, really thought I was going to do like aerospace engineering.
I'm shocked that you're not, honestly.
I get there. Yeah, no, I really thought I was like, I've been obsessed with space and stuff since I was younger, which is clearly why I like sci-fi.
I love it. I love it.
But I really thought I was going to do aerospace engineering, and I not even necessarily I wanted to be an astronaut, but I just wanted to like work in the space industry and like be involved in that technology. I thought was going to be really cool.
I love that.
And the school that I picked, I went to UNC Chapel Hill, go Tar Heels, did not have aerospace engineering, so it just wasn't an option. That's how I ended up in med.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that is a bummer.
I mean, I think it worked out for the best because I think the medical field is a really good fit for me. I like it's very rewarding to be making devices that literally change lives.
Save lives.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the only reason I didn't end up there. And I mean, I probably from pretty young was really interested in like space and stuff like that. So.
I actually remember when we were camping one time and I could not believe that I had forgotten this because when we were in high school, we'd go up to your cabin and you would talk about the stars and everything. But when we were up, you were telling me all the constellations and I was like, how did I forget such a major part of Jenna? And I was like, I will never forget it. I will never forget it ever again.
It's
and anytime I'm up and see the stars, I always wonder, like, is Jenna looking at the same ones?
Oh my God, that's so sweet.
Wow, as soon as I said it, I was like, that's so cheesy. Like I'm in love with you or something.
Oh my gosh, well, what did you want to do when you grew up?
Doctor.
Yeah.
But
you got pretty close to that.
I mean, I'm technically a doctor.
Yeah. Well, did you want to be like a
medical?
Yeah.
I wanted to be a medical doctor growing up, and I always like had the little doctor kits as a kid. But then I grew up and realized I didn't want to touch people.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then my first job out of pharmacy school, I was touching a lot of people.
Yeah, there's a lot of vaccines and stuff.
The vaccines were fine. It was the blood draws and the physical exams that I was like, this is exactly what I didn't want to do. I love the data behind pharmacy and research. And so definitely made a switch that's closer to that.
I mean, I feel like we both ended up actually fairly close to what we were talking about then.
You were absolutely right.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't that fun to watch childhood dreams change and grow?
Yeah.
That's so cute. Are you an introvert or an extrovert?
I think people who don't know me well would be surprised to say I think I'm an introvert. I probably ride the middle.
Yeah.
But I am definitely more of an introvert than I am an extrovert. I just can fake it sometimes in social situations.
We're really good at masking.
We're really good at masking. Yes. What about you?
100% an introvert. And it's funny because I think the same thing. I think especially my dancing friends would say, oh, she's an extrovert for sure. But it's funny because I feel like as I settle into my relationship and like just figure out more of who I am and who I want to be as an individual, the more I'm like, I want to sit home and read. I don't want to go out into the bar and bump around people and be around drunk people. I was like, I love to dance, but I don't really love to socialize that much.
See, it's so funny. I think I've been the opposite where I was even more introverted until I got with my husband, and then my husband makes me feel so much more comfortable in social situations, and so I feel like he's brought me out of my shell more than I was before, and so now I think I'm a lot more social with people that I don't know that I might not have been when
I would agree with that. I feel like we evened out.
We met in the middle.
We definitely did.
Miss Cheerleader over here.
I know. Yeah, literally. But it was funny because like I would go to parties and I would want to go home at 11 p.m. Like I would not.
11 a.m.
I know. I was like, oh, no. Definitely not. I would try to be home early. Like I hit a party phase in pharmacy school, but then like it was a big party phase, okay? And then I just realized that like that doesn't actually bring me joy. Like the things that bring me joy are like being isolated up in the mountains or reading a book or having a glass of wine like with my best friend. It's not cheers.
We'll have to count. Is that the fourth cheers?
I think so. Yeah, count how many cheers we have in this episode. I love it. Oh, good question. So if money wasn't a factor, how would you spend your time?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a great question. My hobby hopping self has lots of interest. I feel like it would take a very long time for me to get bored of just even the hobbies I want to work on. I like doing the photography stuff. I like reading, obviously, as part of that too. I'm like every type of crafting you can think of.
Yeah.
I like to sew. I like to do, I don't know.
Jenna's very crafty.
Cricket.
I love it.
Yeah, I love to do that stuff. I definitely would do more of that. I definitely would do more DJing.
Yes.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, if you didn't know, this girl's become bomb on that DJ set. I don't even know if that's the right term for it. Yeah, it works.
Yeah.
I love it.
No, so I would probably it'd probably take me like a year before I'd be sick of just doing hobbies. But then I feel like I'd have to find something else, even if it wasn't work.
Yeah.
That was some type of structure, like some type of volunteering or some type of activity or something.
Yeah, definitely.
What about you?
I'd get bored. The first thing I would do, if money was not an option, I would put a big tent on the top of my brand new Bronco, and I would go up to the mountains for a really long time, and I would just hang out and read. Yeah, I think that's what I would do. I also, for a while there in the beginning of the year, got into bookbinding, and I realized last week that I have not done that in months.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, so I think that would be really fun to do. I think spending more time like dedicated to like the podcast and trying to figure out TikTok's algorithm, it would definitely take up some time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I would just do more things that I think are more fulfilling to me. Not that my work isn't fulfilling, because it is, but it's a job.
Job is job.
A job is a job.
Yep.
For sure. What is your star sign, and are you similar to it?
I'm not super knowledgeable on this, so don't, take this as a grain of salt or whatever. I know that I'm a Taurus moon and Taurus sun.
Oh.
So both Taurus there.
Oh.
I don't remember what my rising is or whatever that is. But I know that the two first ones, I'm Taurus. And I think I'm probably fairly well fit to that. I think the loyalty side is probably 100%. There. I think the stubbornness is probably there. I mean, I think overall the traits are probably...
You're just particular.
I'm very particular.
I love that about you, though.
I don't love that about me, but it is me, so it's okay.
But you have to have people that surround you that do love that about you.
Yeah. Or at least tolerate.
At least tolerate. Know how to work with you.
Yeah. Tell me about your star sign.
I am a Virgo sun, Taurus moon.
I didn't realize you were a Taurus moon.
I am.
That's so funny.
That was a bad high five.
There we go.
I am a Taurus moon and then a Leo rising. And so that basically what that I guess is supposed to mean is I am very analytical and I need to stick to a schedule, and I'm very particular as well. Let me tell you, I tried to subdue that for a very long time. I was very chaotic for a very long time, and it was super detrimental to my physical mental health. And so once I this is so cheesy, once I started like leaning into that a little bit more, I just feel so much more grounded.
You're thriving now that you will lean on a schedule and stuff. I think you do well with a little structure.
Yes, 100%. And the Leo rising is supposed to be that like outwardly extroverted person, and I can definitely play that part. It just, you got to get it out of me a little bit.
Got to get you in the right situation.
Absolutely. The Grizzly Rose dancing, sometimes that can be it. All right. If you could have one superpower, what would it be? Just one.
Oh, man. Think teleportation. That's probably like, if I could get anywhere instantly, that would be pretty freaking cool. I would like that. Be like, show up in Italy for some lunch, pop back at home, you know what I mean? Like, go say hi to my mom for happy hour, come back home, I don't know. That'd be great. What about you?
Same.
Yeah, seriously?
Yes. And the reason that this is in the forefront of my mind is because I was asked that at my last job interview.
Oh, were you?
Yes. They said, if you could have a superpower, and immediately I said teleportation. They said, why? I said, because I can do my work and be in the mountains at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Or be in Italy.
Get somewhere else.
Yes. You could do so much traveling on such a budget.
Yeah, that'd be so nice.
It really would, honestly.
And the time. I don't get bored with like the travel time part of it. So
same.
Nice to just show up.
And like, I love to explore. And so being able to like see a bunch of different countries, and honestly, you wouldn't even have to go and like spend a week. You could just like teleport back home.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
How amazing would that be?
Yep.
Oh, I love that. And I love that they were the same.
And never take an Uber again.
Oh, I would never take an Uber again. Oh, that'd be so nice.
Yep.
You're like, oh, I drove here and now I could just leave my car and go home. Okay. Just in the blink
I wouldn't
of
have
an eye.
driven there. I would have teleported there too.
I just got a new car though.
That's fair.
I want to drive my car right now.
That's fair.
But I'm sure in a year or two I won't want to drive anymore because it's a car. What is your favorite pastime other than reading?
It probably depends on when you ask me, kind of because I hobby hop. I do love to cook and bake, and I probably consider that a little bit of a hobby. But recently, meaning like the last 6 months, if you ask me, I have very much enjoyed building skills DJing. That's probably been my second favorite pastime.
I love it. And I've heard a couple of your new stuff and it's fun. Remember we had a little jam session a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it's fun. I like house music. So if you like house music, hit me up.
Oh, I love it so much. That's so fun.
Yeah. What about you? What else do you do besides reading?
Anything outside. I love to hike. I love to camp. And last summer my hiking got cut short because I had foot surgery again. And so I did not get to hike for the rest of the year. And this year I said, I'm doing at least 10 hikes this year. I want to do a 14er, but I really need to get myself back into shape. Mm-hmm. So
they are no joke.
No. So literally anything outside.
Well, yeah, that's fun. Yeah.
If you were a ... what would you be? We've got a couple of options here.
Oh no.
We'll just go down the list.
Oh no.
If you're a breed of dog, what would you be?
I feel like I'm like a Staffordshire Terrier. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but if you love them, you like really love them, and they just love to be cozy and friendly and snuggled.
Yes, yeah,
and they're like a little lazy, but like also will be fun and play. I think that's me.
Wait, that actually fits perfectly. I love that. I was gonna say whatever Dixie is.
I mean, yeah, Dixie is mixed with that. So yes, yeah. I am a Dixie dog. My dog is me 100%. Like, I know that every people are their dog's personality. I am 1,000% Dixie's personality.
Yeah, 100%. Yes. I mean, same.
I was gonna say I would put you as Golden too.
I was gonna say Golden. Oh my god, yeah, because I have a little Golden. She's so derpy, which I mean, it's horrible that I'm calling myself derpy, but a little bit. But like, she's so intelligent, and like when she has a task in front of her, she will like do that task so happily. Like, I love it. But she's ADHD as fuck and anxious as fuck. So I'm like, wow. I'm like, why are you so anxious? And I'm like, oh, that's why.
Yeah, I don't know if people are their dogs or dogs are their people, or maybe a mixture of the two, but I do think that we are both exactly our dogs.
I know, which is hilarious. Mm-hmm. And our dogs love each other too.
Yeah.
If you were a meal of the day, what would you be?
Can I be dessert?
Oh, fuck yeah.
I think I want to be dessert.
I love that.
Not that dessert is my favorite part, like meal of the day, but I feel like I embody dessert.
You do. Yeah, you are other people's favorite part of their day.
What about you?
That's really funny. I was going to say breakfast for the exact same reason.
You're the most important part of everyone's day.
Stop. That's cute. I like that, actually. Oh, I'm blushing. So if you were a color, what would you be?
I think I mean, it's my favorite color, and I think I'm green.
Ooh.
Because I am natural.
I like that. I feel grounded.
Like I'm grounded. I feel like I'm just to me, especially at this age and place in my life. Like I'm me. Like I am. I'm not like a ton of makeup or any of that type of thing. You know,
that
feels green to me.
Oh, that's so cute. Yeah. Green is also my favorite color.
Yeah,
especially like the forest green or like olive green.
Mm-hmm. But what color do you see yourself as?
Gosh, you know what? I don't know, but I had a friend say that my aura was purple.
I could see purple. I was gonna say pink too.
Yeah, purple or pink. Yeah, definitely. I don't know about all of the auras or anything, but I was just told that, and I'm like, oh, so now I just associate myself with purple/pink.
Yeah. No, I see that just because you're like bubbly and girly in a confident way, you know?
Yeah. I try. I do try because I love like fashions and makeups and
Yeah,
hair,
you're good at that stuff. You're very good at that stuff.
Yeah. 2016 Jaclyn Hill, you watching YouTube makeup videos. That was me in my dorm room.
That was part of what inspired you for the podcast too, right? You wanted to be a YouTube star.
Literally all of college. I had even bought like a really nice camera, and the guy that I was dating at the time, he was like, oh, I think you could totally do it. Like so oddly supportive. Oh, not like but yeah, he was super supportive. He's like, I think you'd kill it. I think you'd do great. I really needed to come out of my shell, which didn't happen for a few years. So never did it. And then I was like, oh, I've done all this research. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I love it.
Fun.
Next question. If you were a day of the week, what would you be?
Ooh. Thursday. It's like the unexpected party day. It's like you still kind of you're doing what you got to do. You're still gonna work. You're doing that stuff. But like if you're really young, that's a weekend day. And if you're not quite as young, then like for us, like for my husband and I, Thursdays are date night. That's like those are the nights that we prioritize time together too. So it's like a fun night without being a crazy night.
Oh, I love that. That's actually a really good way to put it. I think I'd be a Saturday. Yeah. Like
everybody's favorite day of the week.
Oh my God. That was what I was I think Saturday though, because you're not working, you're out doing something fun, whether it's reading at home, having a glass of wine, making your favorite latte, or you're camping, you're doing something outside. I feel like just being able to do whatever you want kind of embodies Shelby.
Yeah, I love that.
With a schedule. All right. Let's get into some book questions.
Okay.
So, physical books or Kindle?
It depends on the book. If it's a big book, definitely physical. And if it's a book with a lot of world building, definitely physical.
Yeah.
If it's heavy on the romance, probably Kindle.
Smutty books?
Yep. What about you?
Lately, I think I've read one book on my Kindle this year. I also haven't read very much smut this year, so that'll do it. Play into it. I think physical, especially for that trophy you can put up on the shelf, and I feel like I'm really building up that bookshelf, and so I've been buying a lot of books recently. Yeah, so I think right now I just lean towards mostly physical books.
Yeah. My Kindle is pretty new to me too, like just within the last couple of years, and I definitely still read 75% physical.
Yeah, definitely. What's your favorite genre to read?
Can I lump sci-fi and fantasy? Well, I mean, can I lump sci-fi and fantasy together?
Yeah, I think so. Okay. Well, what's your favorite aspects about them?
Adult sci-fi fantasy.
Because you can have a tie and then explain it.
Okay. I mean, mostly just I like either of those types of books that are like heavy on the adventure part.
Yes.
Or like I like a really strong plot driven book.
Yes. Yeah. That is definitely, which is funny because I'm on like the opposite side.
Yeah.
I love, and I've only read one sci-fi book, but I'm loving it so far. But since I've only read one, I can't put that as my favorite. So my favorite is fantasy, and I think it's more character driven.
Do you think it's adult, new adult, or YA fantasy that you like best? And is it or one of those romance?
Ooh. I think probably adult romance.
Adult fantasy romance.
Like Silver Flames comes to mind. Because something that has that kind of character development, especially with something that I can relate to. So like Divine Rivals. Very different from Silver Flames, but same like kind of.
That's YA though.
That is very YA. I'm trying to think of another adult one that I just absolutely love. From Blood and Ash.
That's probably adult, I think. Yeah.
But something that has good character development, I really, really enjoy. Yeah. Hey, next. Ooh, this one's going to be a hard one.
Oh, no.
What's your favorite book and or series of all time? And I think you should do a book and a series.
Oh. See, that's hard though, because I feel like those types of like, what's your favorite? This also clearly pulls out the autism in me. I'm like, how do I choose one? I don't know how to choose one. There are lots for different reasons. I think a lot of times when people ask me what my favorite book is, it's always going to end up being something within the last couple years, because I'm just not going to remember the other ones as well. So if you're asking me today what my favorite book is, it's probably Words of Radiance. And my favorite series.
Yeah. I know. Let's turn and look at the shelves.
I know. Okay. In the top, can I give you like a couple top?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You can.
Okay. So a couple top would be, I don't know if there's a name for it, but the Children of Time series. Adrian, was it like Chavarsky, I think is how you say his name, maybe. The first Mistborn trilogy by Brandon Sanderson, and Shades of Magic trilogy by B.E. Schwab.
Oh yes, which I saw she's coming out with a new book. Oh,
yeah, so I don't know. Those are ones currently in the top.
Oh, I love that.
Yes. What about you?
Oh God, if I had to pick a top book, it'd probably Silver Flames. I think that would be my absolute top. I think I could read that over and over again and still cry, because I just love Nessa's character development. Favorite series, I'm probably also going to give a top 3. Maybe I'll only give top 2.
Yeah.
I think that's where I'm at right now. Or no, actually, I'll do 3. From Blood and Ash, ACOTAR, and the Empyrean series with Fourth Wing and Iron Flame.
Oh yeah, those are good too.
I love those. I love those, but those are all new to me. So like, I haven't read all of Brandon Sanderson Mistborn. I'm in the process of it. I have a feeling Red Rising though it's gonna
be up there. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, it's got potential to get up there too. It might surpass the Children of Time in the top ones for me, and like Children of Time even had surpassed the Expanse series, which used to be in one of my top ones also. I feel like I just always have to have one sci-fi in the top spot.
I love that. Well, I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I'm getting there, okay? I love it. So the next question is, what's your favorite book from your childhood?
I feel like it's too basic to say Harry Potter, but that's like,
I think that
is memorable. I think I loved Aragon probably the most of any of them when I was younger.
Yeah, I haven't read either of those.
What was your favorite book from your childhood?
Oh gosh, I don't think I can just pick one book. My favorite series.
I mean, those were both series too.
Yeah, okay. This is very true. It was actually probably from high school, because I read Twilight in middle school, but that's not my favorite book. It was. It was the Vampire Academy. Yeah, they were big fat books, all of them, and they're like based in Russia, but they're vampires, and they're not like Twilight-y vampires.
So not sparkly.
No, not sparkly. They're more normal, if I'm remembering correctly. It's also been
many years.
12 years since I read the last one. God. And yeah, I absolutely loved it. I used to exchange it with the lady that I would go to at my tanning salon. So I used to have to be all tanned up for cheer, and so we didn't really do self-tanner back then.
I don't feel like self-tanner was very orange when we were in high school. That wasn't really as realistic of an option. There was like Jergens self-tanner, and that was it.
Pretty much, and even that, not great. So I'd actually go to a tanning salon, and we would exchange every other week. So that was probably my favorite.
Nice.
Love me some vampire books. Where's your preferred place to read?
I have a corner of my couch that is closest to the fireplace, and even during the summer I still feel like it's like the side where the chase is on. Yeah. And so I can get the pillows kind of set around it so that you can like sink in to dress the right level to like support the back of your head, you know?
Oh, that's the one thing that I'm missing on my couch. It has no back support. It clearly was not bought out of comfort. It was just because it was cute. And it's like totally broken too, so that's great. I think the spot, I like kind of created a little spot for myself. I bought some bookshelves. I've got a couch next to it. I've got a chair in front of it. And I'll turn on like the fireplace on my TV. And I think that's my favorite place. Like, but the second place, just in bed.
Yeah, I read in bed plenty too. But I definitely read on my couch a lot. Although I will say it's not my most common place to read, but it's my favorite place to read. We got a rooftop tent last year, like one of the ones that mounts on the top of our truck.
Yeah.
And so it has like, you know, the big tent wall windows that you can unzip. So unzipping it and like looking out at a view and just like laying on my stomach with the book there. That's a good spot too.
I think I might. Yeah, my most common place to read is there, but I think my favorite spot is around a campfire, like sitting in a chair around a campfire during the day and looking at the mountains. I think that's actually my favorite. Or in hammock. Just somewhere in the mountains. I love that. And next we got... Well, we might have kind of talked about this a little bit, but what books got you into reading initially and then back into reading?
Yeah, I feel like I kind of touched on that. I read all the classics from our age, so all the dystopian stuff, Divergent, Hunger Games, Harry Potter, all that type of things. And then getting me back into reading, I read like some Riley Sager books. I know I read some of those, and I read like When She Was Gone and what were some other ones? I don't know. A bunch of thrillers.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Mine was Twilight in the very beginning, and then a guitar to get me back into it. What book are you most excited for on your TBR?
Ooh. I mean, right now it's Golden Sun because I just finished Red Rising and I'm very excited to continue it. Yeah, I guess I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, honestly, same. I think that's my top one too.
Which is so cool since that was your first sci-fi and you're that excited to start it.
Well, literally, so in our Red Rising episode, I was like, oh yeah, just order the rest of the series. Like, liked the first one, just order the rest of them.
That's what I like to hear.
I love it. It's so good. I think other than that, so I'm also reading War of Two Queens right now. And I had some friends convince me to get back into the series because it had just been a long time reading other books, and so it was time. But I'm loving it. It's from Blood and Ash. Of course, I love it.
They're good. I do love all those books.
They are so good. What was the last book you gave 5 stars?
Oh, Red Rising. So I just finished it. That was easy. I was gonna go pull up my Goodreads, but I don't even need to do it.
Yeah.
Before then, I actually feel like it's been kind of a while since I've given it 5 stars. Do you remember? So you only gave Red Rising 4.5 stars. So do you remember what your last 5-star was?
5 Broken Blades.
Oh yeah.
I love 5 Broken Blades, and it's funny. So actually, going into book club, I said 4.5. But you know what? Remember how Fading in Blood, I came in at a 4.5 and I went down?
Yeah.
I think I'm bumping it up to 5 stars for Red Rising. Yes! Because I loved it so much. And the more we talk about it, the more I'm like, oh, I missed that part of it. That. I loved it so much. Yeah.
Oh, guess I love that.
I love it so much that so a lot of the times what I'll do is I will go back and forth with the audio and the physical book. Not with this one. I did that for Red Rising, but I don't think I'm going to do that for the rest of the series. I think I'm just going to do physical because I felt like I missed so much. So, yeah.
Fun. Yeah, I realized my last 5-star before that, since we had the same otherwise 5-star, was Wayward, which is the second book in the Wayward Pines trilogy by Blake Crouch.
Dang. And I don't think either of us have had a lot of 5 stars this year.
No, I haven't. Which is funny because previous years, if you look at my Goodreads, I tend to be a pretty easy.
Me too.
I don't know. Yeah, I tend to be pretty easy. Although some people say that, but it's also I'm strategic about the books I read. Yeah, and I read books that I think I'm gonna like. And so I don't have to DNF or slowly rate a lot of books because I pick ones I know I'm gonna like.
Yeah, this is so true. This is so true. Yeah. Well, on that note, what was the last book that you DNF'd?
Oh, the last book I DNF'd. Okay, hold on. I kind of feel like I should have DNF'd Service Model, which I was super bummed about. No, I mean, I shouldn't go that far.
Was it the Murderbot series?
It's not the Murderbot series, but it's kind of like that one. I mean, I shouldn't have gone that far. It's not that bad.
Oh.
It's been a minute since I've DNF'd. I should have DNF'd a duet to the Siren Duke, but I did not. I did a soft DNF of the Emperor's Bone Palace, which is the second book in the Infernal War saga. But that's a soft DNF. I think I'll go back and read it at some point. It just wasn't the right time. Yeah. What about you?
So I feel really awful about this DNF.
Oh.
It was the second one to The Night Runs Red by Amber Palmer.
The Days Burns Bright.
Yeah. And I got a little over halfway. I did get a little further into it. I don't know if I just wasn't in the mood for it or, well, I don't know.
Just wasn't hitting at the time.
No, it wasn't. And I absolutely adore Amber Palmer. And so it's nothing on her writing. It probably just wasn't my style. And I'm still going to go back and read her first trilogy and probably love the entire thing. So, yeah, that was our DNFs. Oh, if there was a fire, what are 3 physical books from your library that you would save?
I feel like I'd probably pick pretty ones that I have also annotated, because those would be the hardest ones to replace.
Yeah.
It's funny, I will never reread it, and I didn't even rate it that highly, but I probably would take Shattered Me as one of them, just because that was the first book we did for the podcast. And I physically annotated a lot in that one.
We both did. Oh
so it's just kind of like a memorable one. Probably would keep my Fourth Wings. It's like a first edition, and I annotated it.
I love that.
And
yeah, mine too, after I had to rebind it.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I've got a lot of other pretty books.
You have a lot of pretty books.
I'm trying to think of the ones that like mean the most to me.
Yeah.
That would be like the hardest to replace. I don't know. You tell me yours while I'm thinking of my third.
So one of mine would be Fourth Wing that I rebound that you bought for me for my graduation. That is first edition, and we annotated the shit out of those books.
And it still has the note from me in it, probably.
I know it does.
From graduating pharmacy school. It's a big deal.
Oh my God, that's so precious. And there was a fiasco with it, a very, very big tragedy. But I learned how to bookbind and I rebound it. And so that's one of them. The next one would probably, just because I love it so much.
That's a good one.
And the third one, gosh.
I know that's hard.
Tough. 3 books. Because I don't even know what it would be like in a pinch, like run to my shelves and grab it.
Right.
I
feel like I'd also probably take my 5 Broken Blades arc.
Ooh.
Because that was one of the first arcs that we got from a big publisher, and that was really cool.
Honestly, that might be mine too. Did you see what I was using as a bookmark in my Red Rising?
No.
It was the one that we got from 5 Broken Blades.
Oh my God, those were the tabs I used for Red Rising too.
Me too.
Oh, that's funny.
They're like red and orange.
Twins,
and yellow.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Yep.
I love it. And
awesome.
I know there's one more question, and it was, how do you organize your bookshelves?
Ooh, I really only have mine roughly organized by genre right now, and there's a couple shelves that are like specific to authors, like SJM has a full shelf, Brandon Sanderson has a full shelf, and I do lump authors together even if they write in multiple genres.
Yep.
And then mostly by genre, although I really need to reorganize my bookshelf. So it's pretty chaotic at the moment. What about you?
In the beginning it was just wherever I could put them, and now I have an entire like SJM / Rebecca Yarrow shelf, because mine are a little bit like wider. I just have like one big shelf, and then on the next shelf I have hardbacks, and so I've got like mysteries and thrillers, and then I've got an entire shelf for all of the arcs and everything we've received, which thank you so much to everybody. Like, honestly, that has been one of the coolest parts about having this podcast is we've met so many authors. We have gotten like social media besties with some of these authors, and it's just so freaking cool to be able to promote such new work. So I absolutely love it. So I've got an entire shelf dedicated to that, and then below that I've got some paperbacks that I probably won't ever read.
Nice.
Yeah. And then everything that I've already read, so a lot of this stuff is things that I've already read, but then I've got like an entire shelf of just like things I've already read and I don't care where they go.
Fair.
Awesome.
Fun.
Well, this was super fun. I loved a little anniversary, get to know us, learn about our little book habits and whatnot.
Yeah. And as a reminder, this voice is Jenna.
Yeah, I'm Shelby. Oh, that's so funny.
I know, it's one of those things we say it at the beginning of the episode, but I'm sure that once we start talking, like, you kind of forget which voice is which anyways.
I know. We always had people on our socials be like the redhead or the brunette.
Yes.
But sorry, guys.
Yeah. Not a redhead anymore.
Oh, bummer. But yeah, this was super fun. Yay.
Yeah.
Happy 1 year to Miss Willa's book club.
Yeah. Happy 1 year. Thanks for celebrating with us.
Yes.
And we'll catch you next week.
Well, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.